mga red flags in your dividend stocks that you need to be aware of. So yeah, let's go. Hi guys, Yuplu here, and there's this report by Dragonfly like few months ago. It's called When Dividends Lie, Spot Unsustainable Dividends Before It's Too Late. So, few months ago na ito na-publish, but I believe it's still relevant right now. Kasi, in dividend investing, kasi we believe na passive income siya, wala kang gagawin, kikita ka. To a point na ganun yung mangyayari. But, we still have to be aware also, ano ba yung nangyayari sa mga investments natin? So, ano ba nangyayari sa mga companies that we're investing in? Are they still profitable? Sustainable ba yung mga dividends nila? Kaya in this video, i-check natin itong report by Dragonfly so that you will have an awareness, ano ba itong mga different red flags that you should be aware of when it comes to your dividend stock. So, this is the report by Dragonfly. So, when dividends lie, spot unsustainable dividends before it's too late. So, this was like published like few months ago. And yeah, ito yung kagustuhan ko with Dragonfly is that meron silang consistent na mga reports talaga dito. May mga research talaga. So instead of you doing the research, they've done the research for you. So if you ask me, Dragonfly, ito yung recommended na stockbroker ko talaga if you want to do dividend investing. If wala ka pang account in Dragonfly, use my referral link down in the description below. So yeah, let's proceed. First red flag, ito. Sabi dito, attractive yields that signal trouble. So ito yung red flag. A high dividend yield with no clear earnings growth or dividend growth. So, basically, a lot of people na who would want to go into dividend investing, gusto nila yung mga mataas na dividend yield. However, yes, mataas niya yung dividend yield. Nakikita ka ng 8%, 10%, 12%. However, when it comes to the company's earning, yun nga, walang clear earnings growth or dividend growth. So, dito, itong example niya dito ni Dragonfly is Filinvest. Okay? So, this is one of mga REITs, diba? So, if you notice, pababa siya. So, sabi dito, at the end of 2023, so, si Filinvest actually had a yield of 11%. Sobrang ganda, sobrang attractive. Ang laki niyan, 11% in dividends. However, when it comes to yung growth or yung income ng company, basically, pababa, walang clear income growth yung Filinvest. Kaya, makikita natin na yes, mataas yung dividend growth, dividend yield, right? Pero, because of that, yung sentiments ng mga tao, benta na natin to. So, just imagine, this is like, at IPO, I believe this is like around 7 peso. Okay? And then ngayon, yung price niya is 3.20. Alright? So, as of this, etong chart na to. So, bumaba talaga siya. So, yes, kikita ka na ng malaking dividend. Alright? Pero, patay ka naman when it comes to your capital appreciation. So, lugi ka. Yung capital mo, malulugi siya. Kaya very important na hindi lang talaga dividend yield yung titignan mo. Make sure talaga na check din natin if profitable ba talaga yung company. So the good thing kasi with Dragonfly, you can actually check yung stocks. Like ito, example, Filinvest, right? So you can check naman yung financials niya. So nandyan naman yan, overview, profile, financials. And then makikita mo yung revenue. So if you notice, ito, like pababa yung revenue niya. Check natin yung net income, ganun din, di ba? So again, income yung basihan. If the more profitable the company is, the more makapagbigay sila ng dividends. Okay? So next naman na red flag is proceed tayo dito. Payout ratios that outrun profit. So payout ratio basically ito yung budget nila na ibibigay nila as dividend. So let's say for example yung company naging profitable and then syempre yung profit nila, a part of that profit, meron silang tinatawag na distributable income. Yan yung ibibigay nila sa mga investors. Ang nangyayari kasi is that some companies, lahat ng profit nila binibigay nila as dividend. So meaning, hindi na pwedeng mag-grow yung company kasi again, nabigay nila lahat sa mga investors nila. At the same time, yung iba naman, meron din sobrang laki ng payout ratio na they have to borrow money just to pay out dividends. Meron ding iba na hindi naman binibigay lahat ng distributable income. Kasi let's say for example, they have profit and then let's say for example, yung 50%, they reinvest it back sa company, then yung 50% yun yung ibibigay sa mga investors. So, yun yung example ng payout ratio. And for REITs, I believe if REITs, 90% of their distributable income, yan yung ibibigay nila as dividends kasi required sila by law. And some companies, let's say for example, like mga telco company, mga banks, and whatnot, and other companies, iba-iba yung mga payout ratios nila. Ito naman, for this example, yung example niya dito is that yung red flag dito is a payout ratio consistently above 75%, especially during periods of earnings decline. Okay? So, this excludes REITs. So, dito, nagbibigay sila consistently ng payout ratio na malaki, 75%, even if yung earnings nila pa-decline. So this one excluded yung REITs kasi again, by law, they are mandated by law, 90% ibibigay nila as dividends talaga. So dito, yung example dito is PLDT. So if you notice dito, last 2020 up to 2017, 100%. Pero 2014, bumaba yung payout ratio nila. So it means, kumonti yung mga binibigay na dividends in their investors. Basically, yung dividends mo, instead na mag-i-increase yung dividends, may dividend growth ka, bumaba siya. So an example would be, let's say for example, meron kang 100,000 and then you're expecting like 5% dividends per year. So basically, meron kang like 5,000 on a dividends on a yearly basis. However, since bumaba yung bigay ng dividends nila because sa payout ratio nito, let's say for example, from 5% naging 3% na lang. So, instead of receiving 5,000, 3,000 na lang yung marireceive mo. So, parang ganun yung nangyari dito. So, but basically dito, it means na payout ratio is something, okay? So, pwede natin itong basahin, but yung point ko lang na gustong sabihin dito is that payout ratio is something that we should also check out. Kasi, is it like the company giving a stable payout ratio? Or sobra-sobra ba yung bigay nila? Or baka pababa naman yung bigay nila in their dividends. And from there, doon natin malalaman if sustainable ba talaga nagbibigay ng dividends yung company na yun. So, yeah, number 2 na kailangan natin i-look at is yung payout ratio. So, kanina, number 1 is yung income. Is it profitable ba yung company? Number 2 naman is yung payout ratio nila. So, ngayon, next red flag naman dito is that windfall earnings from one-off event. So, basically, like, kanina, pinag-usapan natin, are they profitable yung company? Ngayon naman, what if yung company is very profitable? Okay? So, parang, sobrang laki ng profit. Pero, need natin malaman if yung profit na yun, galing ba talaga sa operations nila or baka that is just a one-time event. So, dito, sabi dito, the red flag is a sudden spike in earnings and dividends driven by extraordinary non-recurring income sources. Meaning, hindi siya consistent. Hindi siya possibly from their operating expenses. So, ito example would be isang company tapos nakapagbenta sila ng property, nakapagbenta sila ng asset, and sobrang laki yung kinita nila doon. So, yan yung parang one-off na profit. So, hindi siya galing sa, let's say for example, for REITs, yung operating income niya is from yung rental income, di ba? So, yan yung consistent. But let's say for example, nakapagbenta ng property, one-off event yun yung parang sudden spike in their earnings. So, dito yung example niya dito is GMA7. So, yung earnings nila, kasi yung last 2020, nag-shutdown yung ABS-CBN. So, maraming influx of political ads. Alright? Tapos, ayun na, 2022 elections din. So, sobrang daming income na pumasok sa GMA7. However, parang siyang one-off event in the sense na hindi siya recurring, hindi siya consistent. So, yes, kumita sa bigla. But, because hindi siya consistent, hindi din magiging consistent yung bigay ng dividends ng company. So, yeah, that is the third red flag. We need to check saan ba galing yung income nila. Is it from operations or from one-time event? And lastly, based dito sa report, yung last red flag is ito, volatile earnings due to commodity prices. So, may mga different commodities kasi na magbo-boom. Let's say, for example, dito yung example niya is like prices ng gold, nickel, coal prices soar. So, let's say, for example, itong mga commodities na to, sobrang laki yung demand. So, yun nga, since malaki yung demand, malaki din yung potential na kikitain ng company. So, I believe dito, sinabi dito is that during the 2020 SEC, so Semirara, paid a modest of 1.25 share in total dividends. But as coal prices surged driven by post-pandemic energy demand, so sobrang dami yung demand, so ayun na, earnings soared. So, malaki yung kita nila kasi sobrang laki yung demand. However, after that one, syempre if may supply, may demand, so syempre, marami nang magso-supply, so bababa din naman yung demand. So, para siyang cycle lang talaga. May mga periods na sobrang laki ng demand ng commodities, like again, example, coal, okay, oil, parang ganoon, and then gold. So, right now, like, may threats about war. So, people, natatakot sila na baka yung US dollars, yung mga cash natin, wala ng value. So, tataas yung value, tataas yung demand ng gold. So, parang ganun yung concept niya kung saan may cycle of demand. So, basically, we don't avoid these kinds of stocks, but we need to be aware lang na, example, especially for mga mining companies, very relevant talaga na alam mo yung cycle ng demand na ito. Kasi, with that kasi, yung dividends na matatanggap mo, kasi, let's say for example, uy, sobrang laki ng dividends na natanggap ko kasi may special dividends. But next year, since wala ng special dividends, then, ayun nga, we need to take into account na possible na mangyari na, uy, bababa yung expected income ko from my dividends. So, yeah, those are the 4 red flags, okay, according to Dragonfly, na we need to be aware of. So, number 1 is, we need to be aware of the income. Are they profitable ba? Profitable ba yung company? Next would be yung payout ratio. Are they giving the right payout ratio sa mga investors nila? Next would be, saan ba galing yung income? Is it like from operations talaga or one-time event lang? And lastly, we need to also be aware sa mga cycle of demand. Kung saan, malakas ba yung demand ngayon ng commodity na to or mababa ba? Meaning, yung dividends niya pwede din fluctuating. So, this is something that we need to be aware of. Yes, dividend investing is passive, okay? But again, we need to be aware of kung saan ba napupunta yung investments natin and if these investments, itong mga companies that investing are actually good companies. So yeah, yan yung mga red flags that you need to be aware of when it comes to investing in mga dividend stocks. So hindi ka lang pwede basta-basta lang pumili ng stocks ha. Dapat alam mo which are the best stocks that you should invest in. Now, if you're wondering, ano ba yung mga top dividend stocks? Well, I actually have the perfect video for that. You can check out this next video kung saan I share dito yung top 15 dividend stocks according to Dragonfly. So yeah, go ahead and check out this next video and I'll see you there.